The following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
Thank you for your service, you're welcome. A comedy benefit show for our veterans. In support of the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. On November 10th at Wakely's, 700 Varick Street, Utica, join Disruption Network as they team up with 92.7 FM The Drive for this night of laughter. The evening will be hosted by Genesee Joe from The Drive. Performances by Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Kluse, Mike Pileggi, and DJ Ease One. Admission is by donation only. Please bring clothes, socks, gloves, non-perishable food items, or a small monetary donation. All donations will go to the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. Saturday, November 10th at Wakely's on Varick Street. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Thank you for your service is sponsored by The D, 92.7 FM The Drive, Paulie's Barbershop, NYE Volkswagen of Rome, Frank's Guns, and Central New York Seal Coating and Concrete.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when three top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
The Disruption Network is making moves. For upcoming events, news, interviews, and new daily programming, keep in the loop with us at DisruptionNetwork.net. Like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. And check out all our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Get up on the D, DisruptionNetwork.net. Only on the D!
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. How are ya? Time to disrupt your afternoon. EC Radio time, people. Buckle yourself in. Sit back. Pack one up. Crack one open. Whatever you prefer. It's time to get busy, baby. Time to get busy. Yeah, how are ya? It's Z. How you doing? You can follow along, DisruptionNetwork.net. We're live pretty much on every freaking social media platform that the Disruption Network has. So you can follow along right there. And, of course, it's all wrapped up in the nice little podcast, and you can find it at our home base, like I said earlier, DisruptionNetwork.net. Coming off a crazy night last night.
Crazy is a good
Crazy. Joining me today, Team Larry. Larry Katroop joining me today. What up, Larry? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, good to be here.
We were hanging out at Rocky Horror Picture at the Stanley back in...
a week ago?
Was it a week ago?
Yeah.
These days all blending as one.
Yeah.
And you do a great thing over there with the Rocky Horror,
Thanks.
doing your production and your show and your costume contest and everything. So.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite event every year. The Stanley staff's great. They always treat us really well. And it's on the stage. I mean, you can't ask for more than that for being a local entertainment brand to be a part of,
Right. Did you grow up in the area?
I did.
You
did.
I
grew up in the Valley, actually.
In the Valley?
Yep.
And
yeah.
growing up as a kid, you drove by the Stanley or visited the Stanley and wanted to be, I want to perform there.
Right, yeah. The
Anybody
Nutcracker
did.
every year. Yeah, Christmas, the standard local stuff. But yeah, just last year was the first year they started letting us do it from the stage. We used to do it in the mezzanine. But tickets are getting, the show's getting so much bigger every year that they can't hold it there. So last year was the first year they're like, yeah, you're going to host on the stage. And I've been doing this 11 years, but I was even like taken back. I'm like, and it had been the week before, and This Moment was there. I'm a big Maria Brink fan, and they had been there that week before last year.
In This Moment, yeah.
And
great show, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, so now I get to share a stage that she was on a week ago. So yeah, no, this year was even better. The numbers just keep getting bigger, and what's great is that it's a Stanley fundraiser, so all the ticket sales, go to them to help them throughout the year. So
and they need it too.
Yeah, there's no reason that you can become a member. You can donate. They accept donations all the time. Yeah.
Right, and you're a great ringleader.
Yeah.
You round up the circus quite well, that's for sure, brother.
Yeah, crack the whip.
Speaking of Maria Brink, she's from Schenectady.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she was doing the local band thing, back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she moved out to L.A., and boom, she became In This Moment.
Yeah, I've seen them 6 times.
They're coming back, too.
Yes.
Real soon.
23rd.
The 23rd?
23rd. I think it's in Syracuse.
With Hailstorm.
Yes. Yeah, and New Year's Day.
Yeah. Wow, that'd be a big
I'm pretty
show.
pumped about that, too.
It'd be a big show.
Yeah.
You frequent a lot of concerts?
I'm a big rock fan. Now, a lot of people don't know that I consider myself, I guess they still call us metalheads.
Yeah.
I grew up with, Metallica, Manson. I was a big fan of Marilyn Manson. Still am.
Yeah.
I like them now. I got to see them at K-Rockathon. Rob Zombie, In This Moment's big. I love Slipknot. I love their new stuff. But I like a lot of local stuff. New Radio Etiquette's one of my favorites.
Great
Fight
band.
for Rome.
Great band.
Yeah, Endless Circles. I mean, we have a lot of great talent locally.
Indeed.
Yeah, rock.
Do you produce shows?
We do.
Like rock shows,
Yeah.
concerts and stuff?
Yeah, a couple times throughout the year. I love doing stuff like that. The venue selection, though, in this area for that genre of music is tough to sell.
Very slim and none right now.
Right, because of, the stereotypes behind rock music. But I got to be honest, I've done a lot of shows, and I got to tell you, the rock crowd is the classiest. They respect every venue I've ever done a show. There's people that stay up and clean up after. I mean, they really are devoted to the genre of music, and they've surpassed every stereotype I've ever heard of a venue. Like a venue saying, "Hey, I don't like the moshing and that stuff." I prefer to do rock shows, honestly.
The other thing that's slim and none, other than the venues too, is the venues that do have shows that bring in the cover bands aren't really open to having originality.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what we need more of.
Yeah, we need an independent venue out there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for that. So if anybody wants to get in the business,
you'll throw a party anywhere.
Yeah.
Though, huh?
Oh yeah. I've done drag shows at Lotus Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. While they're serving us meals.
Where in the bar or like in the back?
In the back area. Yeah.
Back area?
Yeah. We did a Toys for Tots benefit there last year. I mean, we've done shows everywhere.
Strangest venue you've done a show at?
Well, I started out DJing. And I was telling you earlier, I actually started DJing at VJ's in Frankfurt, which is a female bar. And for people that know me, I'm homosexual. So putting me in that scenario, but that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever done. It was the most fun though. You learn a lot of things.
Right.
So yeah, before TLE, I was a DJ. Still love to do it every once in a while. I don't do it as often.
How long did you work at VJ's for?
Right through college, I would say 2 years.
Were any of the girls trying to get you to flip at all?
No. They
never.
Oh, but there were a couple that had.
They didn't try at all.
No. And they try. Downstairs of the dressing rooms, you can imagine it's everything you can imagine it being. Like,
right.
Gossip and other things.
Sodom and Gomorrah down there.
Yeah. But I definitely learned a lot about entertainment from there.
I'm sure.
So I would say that would be the weirdest place I've ever done anything.
Well, it's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah.
That's your education right there.
Yeah. Oh, you learn everything. You learn how things are, how things work, how shady some people can be. Not all of us in the business are bad.
Yeah. Give me your best DJ voice, like when you had to announce a chick up to the stage.
I've done this in so many years.
Come on, let me hear.
I'd be like, All right, ladies and gentlemen. We had ladies there, too. We used to have bachelorette parties. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage. She's beautiful. She's bold. Give it up for Brandy. And it would be, I'd lower the voice, everything, do the whole thing.
And Brandy smells like cotton candy, body spray, and Newports.
Yep, and you always knew there was a girl-on-girl show when Erotica from Madonna came on. You knew that was coming. They would come to me 5 or 10 minutes before and say, all right, we're going to do 2 girls up there. And they'd get into it, but money was flying. $100 bills were flying. There was money in that business, even being in a small area.
Right. But they would come from all over, too, VJs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You'd get people, because I used to go to VJs in high school. It was the thing to do. They would let everybody in.
It wasn't my place to hang out, personally. But I made a lot of money doing that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Helped through college. So, that was definitely...
You probably saw the swing from where the strippers used to come out to rock music and Scorpions and hair bands and stuff. I know the times have changed.
There were some that still stuck to it.
And then it changed over to 9 Inch Nails, but then it got into electronica and hip-hop and stuff. Too, yeah.
No,
so what was the percentage of girls listening to more hip-hop than anything back then?
No, not really. Actually, there was a couple. Clearwater was a big for one of the girls. Clearwater Revival, I believe their name is.
CCR?
Yeah. Every song. And then she would go from that to Rolling Stones. So there was a couple that were seasoned. Say seasoned.
Yeah.
Been there too long. That would dance to that. But, it was 2003, 2004-ish I started. So it was kind of the hip-hop era. Nelly was big and the Soulja Boy stuff, the really bad rap. It's worse now. Rainbow hair and different colored teeth and craziness. But, I would say... it was a lot of you would think music, Closer from 9 Inch Nails was a big one. Anything sexually driven.
Yeah.
But erotica, things like that. But no, it was a good mix, thankfully. A lot of the girls, we got so close, on friendships levels that they wouldn't even come to me to pick their music. They just, they'd have 2 songs. I'd have a lineup. I know what they listened to, what they like, what they didn't, and I would just play that.
I have a feeling that's what's missing in rock and roll is that sleaze factor.
Mm-hmm.
The stripper factor, Tawny Katane, flipping herself around the front of a car, and Motley Crue hanging out with strippers and stuff. That's missing from rock and roll these days.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Give me a good sleaze rock and roll band that's out there right now. There isn't. The only one that comes to mind right now, they're not really sleazy. Well, Steel Panther, but they're more of a gimmick. Are you a fan of Steel Panther at all?
I've heard a few of their
Greatest
songs.
fucking band in the world, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Check them out.
I'll definitely
But they're more
listen.
of a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like a Tenacious D type of vibe where, the songs are funny and it's all like a spoof on the 80s hair metal and stuff like that. But the band that's out there right now, the Struts,
Yep.
They're out there doing it, but they're not really sleazy, but they got kind of that factor to it. But that's it, though.
Greta Van Fleet is another. Well, they sound
the kids.
Yeah. Well, and I got to see them. They were in Place of Hailstorm.
You've seen Greta Van Fleet?
Yeah. They were actually really good. We knew the one song that was the song that was out at the time.
The Highway song.
Yeah, and they were opening up for Hailstorm. She had actually been sick, so they canceled. So we had them and New Year's Day were the two openers. And that New Year's Day is a very good band, another female-led band.
I gotta check them out.
Very good. Very, very good. But no, I guess they do Led Zeppelin covers, really. They sound like...
It sounds just like it.
Yeah.
They sound, and when they grow up and start to develop their own sound, they're going to be monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the way rock is headed, though. I don't like the way rap is headed. I think
rap has gone downhill so bad.
I mean, all these battles and all this stuff.
Mumble rap and auto-tune.
Yep.
I hate the auto-tune.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite thing out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. But
it's so bad.
But no, I like the direction rock music's going in, and I love that like I said, there's so much local talent here.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a festival alone with how many great bands are right out of this area. Like locally, I'm not even talking Syracuse and Albany. I'm talking Utica and in this area. But
it's true, and we do. There has been Animal Jam, which Rich Masucci puts on every year. And he gets pretty much all the independent artists together. They're out there, like you said, New Radio Etiquette, and you got to check out Beside the Sun, great band, great new local band, and Trampoline Jetstream, and there's a lot of good bands out there that are doing it locally. And we got to get it. We got to put them out there. But Well, we need somebody like you that's out there waving the flag, bro.
Trying, yeah. You got to find a venue that's ready for it.
Yeah. Do you have any events coming up anytime soon?
I don't. Usually Rocky Horror is kind of the end of our calendar year for shows. Sometimes during the holidays we'll do what they call the Misfit Ball. I've done it a couple years, where it is a more rock-driven. Sometimes we do rock and drag. We like to smash them together and see how that goes, which really goes well. Sometimes we usually do that for Toys for Tots, but I haven't really planned much of anything. I kind of just want to run the rest of the year out.
You got ideas stewing in the head?
Oh yeah,
though?
There's a couple things already in the works actually that I can't talk about yet because things aren't. I got to sign the dotted line first. But we do have a roster of entertainers, drag kings and queens that travel around all New York, representing TLE. So I mean, their schedules will be busy come the new year. But I kind of like to give everybody the holidays off because I certainly don't have the money to be going to shows. I can't imagine trying to produce one.
Right.
But yeah, we're always almost every show we do is charity driven. It's either we're donating our time. I started it out just because I was sick of seeing drag queens host all the shows, and I don't do drag myself, so I'm like, I can do this, whatever.
You never did drag?
I've never done drag. I did make a promise, which I do have to do. I did say that if we got over 1,000 followers on TLE, that I would do drag, and we did within minutes. Actually, I was at hosting a show, and I'd said it, and the people there must have put us over or something. But eventually. I'm dreading it.
So when you go drag, how are you going to go? Like full on?
Oh, it'll be full on.
But are you going as a blonde? You going as a brunette?
I don't know yet. I have a makeup team.
You got to get some big tits, right?
I don't know how
if
it's
you're going to go drag, go big, right?
Yeah. Well, it's one and done.
One and done?
I've seen the entertainers do that. It takes real talent to do that. But
do you know my drag personality?
No.
I do have one.
You do have one.
Big titty Nikki.
I'd love to see that.
I can pull it up on the Street Rock Mafia video. Bitch better have my money. Big titty Nikki, man. That's me.
I love that.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I don't have a name or anything yet.
She's a boss ass bitch, man.
Sounds it.
I'm telling you.
Sounds it.
I'll show you. I don't have a producer around here. I'd have him digging it up. We're very slim on the budget around here.
It's nice in here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's really nice in here.
But if I had the producer in here, I could dig it up and show you my.
I definitely want to check
my
it
drag
out.
personality.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's no joke, bro.
Yeah, no, but it'll all be set up for me. I have, Shauna, she's a very good friend of mine. We've been friends since I started she's from Brooklyn. She does my face. She does my face for all my shows. I'm not talented enough for that. No. You put a microphone in front of me and a drink and I'm good to go.
Right.
That's where my talent is.
You're the ringleader.
Yeah, but otherwise, no. And my clothes are designed for me. So they'll be setting up. I'll pretty much just be stagnant, standing there, let them put me in it and do it. And actually, I think it'll be in this moment that I do.
In this, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no drag queens doing rock. The drag kings are. The drag kings are, they're finally step away from the Bieber and
Can
the
you
Timberlakes.
sing?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it'll be a lip sync.
Okay.
No.
There's no rock and roll
There's
drag.
not.
Right.
And you would think Maria Brink with her looks alone
could be.
Yeah, you could easily mock that up.
Yeah, there's no way she's got a penis.
No, her, no. No. She's posed nude many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's pretty.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's
absolutely gorgeous.
Very pretty woman, that's for sure. No, you're right though. Maybe you should start the all drag rock band. That you might be onto something. This might be a gimmick for you.
Well, unless it gets stolen after the show, that
probably
happens a lot with I remember starting 11 years ago and trademarking Team Larry Entertainment, like the logo, everything. I went through all the process, kind of condensed it to TLE because it's harder, it's easier to say. But a lot of even I'm sure you've seen this. You can produce an idea. It's fresh. It's new within a week. And now with social media, within like 5 minutes from now, there will be somebody in drag makeup doing Maria Brink, and that's fine. That's great. Too. That's great that they take the inspiration, run with it, and do that. I'm not laying claim to anything specific,
right?
But nobody really thinks for themselves. A lot of people,
100%.
Just be.
That happens around here too. We'll have these conversations live and all of a sudden these ideas come out and the next thing you know
there's somebody doing it,
there's some media company doing it or corporation doing it, and it's like where'd you get
that's why I don't reveal too many things,
right?
Because of that reason, especially now. I mean, social media, you're in everybody's business.
Yeah,
there's no free moment to breathe.
Yeah, instant gratification. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Now, were you paying attention to the election last night?
Absolutely.
And this is the part of the conversation where we get political.
Yeah, no, I was watching it. I was watching it like my life depended on it last night. And even up until this morning we were talking, I was watching.
Yeah.
I was never...
The Trump press conference earlier.
Mess.
I feel like he's getting dementia.
Or he already has it.
He's
definitely a sociopath, like, for sure.
That goes without saying.
You don't need a doctorate to understand that. But... yeah, I was never really political. Honestly,
same here.
I remember being a kid in the 90s with Bill Clinton. Life was great, I thought. I mean, I didn't, other than his discretion, whatever. The country was fine. And I really started to get into it when Obama ran. I was really I really loved he was fresh. He was, something, it wasn't just even the race. Or him being black, it was because he was just like talking to young people, which was so new, and I was still younger at the time. But then this last one, when he who shall not be named in the White House started running, and then I was like, okay, this is serious. We can't mess around. So yeah, last night was I'm not surprised by it. I think actually, honestly, a divided government as far as like one running the other, I think that's good because then everybody's kind of being heard. But
I'm sick of the two-party system.
Yeah.
That needs to go.
Yeah.
That needs to go because now it's so divided now, and even during Trump's press conference today, all you can hear out of his mouth, the Democrats blaming everything on them, and they blame everything on the Republicans. It's so divided.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get any more. We're not coming together. It's going to take some sort of freaking disaster or the alien attack or something to happen for us to come together as a unit again because we're so freaking divided. There's never going to be any compromise.
Yeah, no,
and it sucks.
It does suck. Yeah, I think everybody. I think whoever runs should be running based on what they can provide. Screw the title. Like if you're, I would be down for a person that wasn't a politician that just lives day to day middle class life, like most of us do.
Right.
That understands life, real life.
Right. Well, that's what cracks me up about Trump supporters. Because these guys, how do they relate to Trump? Trump was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. His dad gave him everything. And then you got these like backwoods redneck like, yeah!
They believe whatever they hear.
Because everything's tremendous. You use the word tremendous 500 times and you're going to gain some followers. I'm going to start using that.
Yeah.
Just start using tremendous and everything's fantastic. Or
the word tremendous. Collusion. Everything's or fake news.
Oh, man, I don't really want to get on the soapbox, but congratulations to Anthony Brindisi.
Yes.
I voted for him.
I was so excited for that. That was the one thing I was waiting on last night. That was it. That's all I cared about.
Yes.
Because I think he's an amazing guy. Plus, I didn't like the other opponent.
Right, me neither.
At all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that made my night. That was after that I kind of shut everything off. You can only watch Jake Tapper say we have a projection, every 5 minutes. But I'm just glad people voted.
Yeah, me too. They came out in droves yesterday.
Yeah.
Shit, I voted 9 o'clock in the morning, and the place was packed.
Yeah.
Packed, and I went with my buddy to the other side. I had to go down VCC, and my buddy had to go to Masonic Home, and that place was packed. So people came out.
Yeah, I waited until the husband got out of work, and we went together.
Long lines?
No. We go to New York Mills, the gym there, and it was very short. I mean, there was a line, but it wasn't what you saw on TV.
Yeah.
It was a decent line.
They didn't have the problems like they had in Georgia
what they do need, though, and I love and appreciate everybody that volunteers their time, but we need to get younger volunteers in there. I can't tell you how many times Sam spelled our last name. And poor woman, and she was doing the best she could, but you spell your name 5 or 6 times, and it's right there, like you're staring at the page that Sam and I literally follow one another on the page you sign. And she's like, "Can you spell that again?" And I'm sitting there thinking, like, it's right there.
Yeah.
And, I had to and she was sweet, and everybody was all the people that volunteer. I love that they take the time out. But
absolutely,
we need younger volunteers.
I agree.
And they need to start getting the young people. Like the young people were involved yesterday. It was a big number.
People cared, and that was the important thing. Is people actually finally gave a shit.
Yeah.
We still need more people to vote, though. If you still look at the numbers, there's still millions of people that do not vote.
I don't see why it's such. I mean, it doesn't take long to register. It doesn't take long to vote. It takes. You go in there, you check off your names, you slide it in the thing, you're done. That's it. You did your civic duty for the year, or for 2 years or whatever. So yeah, if there's one thing that guy did do is he did ignite people on both sides to go, to vote. So I'm happy about that at least.
The thing that sucks though is 2020 starts right now.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah.
It starts. Well, it started in 2016, 2020 already.
Yeah.
As soon as you won
the
that
countdown.
vote. Right, the countdown. And now, I mean, not that 45 hasn't stopped rallying for himself, but it's going to continue.
Oh yeah,
and
it'll get worse.
And it'll get worse.
I kind of like. Is it Beto?
Beto. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he reminds me a lot of Obama, like that young, fresh, like he's excited, energized. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he said he's not running, but that can change.
Right.
So, and anybody that's just I want some young, not young. I mean, not 20, but
but somebody that's more relatable to you, and not somebody who's on the cusp of going into a nursing home.
Right.
Because the values are a little bit different.
Right.
And your lifestyles are totally different.
And times have changed.
And times have definitely changed.
So somebody that gets it would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with New York State. It doesn't really roll with the times, especially in Utica.
The clock stops.
It does. And it's like the old money. When I had Larry Sharp on the podcast, he was saying that. Like, it's just old money, old thinking, and it doesn't like to accept change in the state. That's why we keep rolling with the same freaking people and the same leaders. And that's why people are leaving the state, by the thousands.
Yeah.
And
that's why I was excited about Brindisi, because that was like, you kind of thought it was going to go the other way because New York is primarily Republican.
Right.
So that was
New York State always votes Democrat.
Well, our area is very Republican.
And when did that change?
I don't know. I'm still astounded by it because actually, like around where we live, there were a ton of Brindisi signs. And everybody was. I mean, you'd see the one or two other persons, and that. But that was nice just to because you go down the other local races, it was R all the whole way.
Indeed.
Which if they do a great job, awesome. I don't care that they're Republican as long as they represent everybody.
Right, and do some work. Not like Claudia Tenney. She didn't do shit. She didn't do a goddamn thing.
So I was that made my week just to see him win.
Yeah, you got some fans out there. Janelle's checking in. She's saying hi.
My mom.
That's what she said. She was watching from Philly.
Yeah.
She's saying hello. Mike White saying big titty Nikki breaks hearts. Yes, she does. And
I can't wait to see that.
And she tucked it. It's in the street. It's on my old video for Street Rock Mafia for Bitch Better Have My Money. We'll show it to you when I get it up over here. And I would do it, but I'd rather talk to you right now.
Yeah,
I can only focus on one thing at a time. JP, Jeff's checking in. He's saying, vote for me, bitches. I'd vote for him. It's better than Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kai is saying the problem with people's vote is they vote their party and not their interest. And that's so true.
That is true.
How many people are voting against their interest just because they're part of the red flag or the blue wave or whatever? Yeah, it's bullshit.
I mean, me, not yesterday, but me usually, I like to look up the candidates. I've voted Republican in past elections. This election, no. I just didn't. There was no question for me, for obvious reasons.
Right.
But no, I agree. I don't myself. I never look at, I never look like, okay, he's the Democrat or she's the Democrat. I'm going to roll this way. I've voted independent before. Like I wish more people would look into what the person's, promising or at least advocating, for what they want to do when they run. So yeah, I agree. I think the world would be better if you didn't have a D and an R next to it, like you were saying.
Yeah. Politics is so like the WWE right now. It really is.
I love that too.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
I mean, Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame. He's hosted many events. He freaking shaved Vince McMahon's hair in WrestleMania. Well, I don't remember which WrestleMania it was.
Well, him and Vince are close.
Yeah, they're boys.
Billionaires Club.
It's the Billionaires Club, and it's just like freaking, they're at each other's throats out front of the camera, but back there's a lot of shady politics going on.
Shaking hands.
And it's just like the WWE.
Yeah, no, I've been a fan actually of that since the WWF.
Oh yeah.
Bret Hart was my favorite. He was God. He was everything back when I was a kid.
And tonight coming up, Wrestle Fandom Radio just after us.
Oh, nice.
They'll be with our boy Rated R and the guys from Fight from Rome. They do a podcast, and my man Anthony Sanfrano from No Compliance.
Yes,
they get together. The three great musicians get together and talk wrestling every other Wednesday here on the D. So
they No Compliance did one of the Misfit Balls actually.
Did they?
Yeah.
Great punk band, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I love their attitude. They just got balls when they're up there, and they don't give a shit. They're just like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna rock your face, kick your teeth in. If you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's exactly how it should be.
Music unites people. That's what I love about it.
Indeed.
It doesn't matter your political party or your views. When you're in a show, whoever's watching, you need to go to I don't even care if you're not a rock fan. Just go check one out.
Yeah.
how great everybody is to everybody. Everybody looks out for each other. It's a good time. And then you leave knowing you had a good time. You spent some money, that you probably shouldn't have. Because God knows I've been there. And you had a good time. You made memories. Probably new friends even.
Yeah.
So
you brought up the rock scene. The rock scene is a very communal community, but that rivals to the jam band scene too. The jam band scene is like none other as well. Like those guys are, each and every one of those bands are tight. It's a tight-knit community, and same thing. They pick up after each other, and they've got this very earth-conscious type attitude about it, very organic, and they help each other out.
Yeah.
So it's good to see, and I think some of these other music outlets need to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't see that shit, the EDM scene.
No.
You don't.
No.
Not at all.
You see a lot of other things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I see Andy Soroka, good friend of mine. He's at a talent. He's doing YouTube stuff now too. But he's into the jam band kind of that genre of music. Very talented. There's so much talent here, and it's untapped, which drives me insane. That it's so much talent here. I mean, my husband sings. He should be on Broadway. I don't know why he's not. Honestly,
he's got pipes.
Oh yeah, plays piano, sings. I mean, like Josh Groban, Michael Bublé, Broadway
What's he doing?
stuff. He does it for That's how I met him actually. He did TLE did a talent show years and years ago, and he had competed, and that's how I met him. But we'll just go to be at his mother's and he'll be jamming on the piano, like insanely talented. But I think he's the type of person that prefers to do it for fun. Like it's not anything I don't think he'd ever want to do professionally.
Yeah.
Because it changes when you get to that level. I mean, I guess that's the goal for everybody, right? To do what you love for a living would be, if I could just do TLE every day, I would be in heaven. I would be happy.
Yeah, right.
And it paid the bills and did everything. That would be goal.
If you're in a different market, you probably would be able to do it.
Yeah, but you know what? I really, as much as I hate to admit it, I love the area. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many bad things about it, but the people here want to be entertained, and the thirst for entertainment. Like, I mean, situations like this. I mean, people watch this show. Like, you're not getting that. In LA, you're watching Ryan Seacrest and doing that crap, like this is organic, this is,
it's
live,
real.
uncut. Yeah, people can relate. So I think that's
just
why
a conversation,
that's why I stay in the area.
Yeah.
Because there's still a thirst for entertainment.
Well, growing up in the area, you must have faced a lot of struggles growing up as a homosexual.
No, I was
you
never.
You didn't get picked on or beat up as a kid?
We had the one, see, that was the thing, I stood up for myself.
You had that at play.
Oh yeah, I didn't play around. There was, one or two.
Yeah.
One or two dumbasses that probably made nothing of themselves.
Yeah,
and that's how it happens. The bullies always lose in the end.
Yeah.
So if you're being bullied, just hold out. You get so much better.
You didn't have to deal with a lot of stereotypes.
Because I would get right,
especially in this area though.
I would get right in their faces.
You talked about how people are become a lot of Republicans lately, and it's like a lot of, for the lack of a better term, fag bashing or something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I had a really good network of friends. I don't think that everybody, I think even the people that oppose homosexuality really don't. They oppose the stereotype that's around it. Like they are automatically assuming that I'm going to paint my nails and braid their hair kind of thing. And that's, and I'm not saying that there aren't homosexuals like that, and more power to them. And that's awesome. But people are more scared of what they think that homosexuality, and thankfully TV is starting to turn it around. But in the 90s and early 2000s, a gay character on TV was flamboyant, over the top, and so it was automatically assumed that's how we all were,
right?
Are
RuPaul style,
yeah, right. Yeah, and that's great, and that's a big part of our subculture, in the homosexual culture, but it's not all of us.
Right.
Like, I mean, I watch wrestling, watch football. I love playing sports. I go out to, dive bars.
Yeah,
and,
you still got balls.
Yeah, like, that's just one. That's not who I am. It's a part of me. But I think that's really where the trouble is that, or it's just they're closeted, married Republicans. That happens too.
I feel like a lot of
I've met a lot of them.
Those angry people got their own issues that they don't want to solve, so they outlet other angles.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many times that's happened in my past.
Does the word faggot bother you?
No, I actually use it on a regular basis.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, because as we grew up
it.
calling my friends, and to me, it never really referred to a homosexual or a gay person.
Or you'd
at all.
say that's gay.
Like, oh, you faggot.
Or that's dumb.
Dude, I say it's gay all the time.
Yeah.
Like, to me, you're not gay. You're homosexual.
Yeah.
Something like me falling down, breaking my ankle, that's gay.
Yeah. It sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, nothing really offends me. It's all about how you handle it. I think this generation's too sensitive.
Yes.
Way too sensitive.
Thank you, Larry.
Way too
Ring
sensitive.
that bell. Where's that bell? You got it in front of it. Do it. Thank you. Seriously, like everything's like, why do we have to stop saying these words now?
Yeah, I think everybody's too sensitive. I grew up around, my mom was a single mother for the longest time. She was a bartender. So I grew up around Hells Angels and bikers and all sorts of, thankfully I was raised right to, defend myself. And it's only offensive if you let it offend you. And a lot of the times, like you were saying, like the term gay, I say that's gay all the time. And that's not, in any context whatsoever of the community or anything like that.
Right.
I think the problem, more or less, is the hatred in our community. Like within,
Right.
There's bombs going off on the inside, like, with the talking and gossip. And I think that's worse for us than the outside.
As the years gone on, you've seen more hate and hate as the years gone on.
I mean, I kind of step away from it unless I'm doing something related to it. I don't try to be an advocate for it. I let people do what you got to do. I'm very, very, very passionate though about the trans community because I do have a lot of friends that are transgendered, and I know that that's a very sensitive topic now. I mean, they're kind of the new gays, really, honestly. Everything's, they want to take everything away from them, and some of my closest friends are. I don't usually use the T word. I know that's how they identify themselves. If they're man to me, they're a man. If they're a woman, it's not a really hard concept. I think they get it a lot worse now. They're kind of dealing with what we dealt with what I dealt with in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more passionate about, them because I just don't involve myself. I mean, I've been married almost 5 years. Normal marriage, like a wife and a husband. It's the same scenario. Nothing's different.
You guys have a dog?
Yeah, we have a dog.
See, it's normal.
Yeah, that's our child. He's got baby fever now, though, which is scary because I'm not ready for children.
Yeah, no. You got Team Larry to worry about.
Yeah, I have enough children.
You got enough children.
Yeah, I have enough, over 1,000. Yeah, it's the normal. We bought a house. It's the American dream, no matter which way you look at it.
Right.
And I think if that was seen more, and thankfully, like I was saying, now TV and movies and entertainment are starting to shed light that we're not so different.
Right.
Like what we do in the bedroom's nobody's damn business.
Right.
Like we're not doing. We're married.
Like for anybody.
Yeah.
Unless you're Kim Kardashian.
Oh, no.
But that's
if we could only
ain't
get
going down that road.
If we could only get famous doing that.
Right.
No,
but you're right though, and everybody being too sensitive these days is such a problem right now.
It only
toughen up, people. What happened to the tough guys?
Yeah, it only gets
you're offended
you if you
by
let it.
words, and you're too wrapped up in your phones and your self-image and your filters and your Snapchats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
come on.
Oh yeah,
there's a whole world out there you guys are all missing out on.
Yeah, go outside. There's some amazing things. And you don't have to Snapchat that you're outside staring at a tree with leaves falling. We know it's fall.
Right.
Just enjoy it.
And stop with the freaking cat filters.
Or the dog ears.
Oh, my God, it's getting old.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for new filters, though. But anyways, that's the problem, though. Just the sensibility. We need to toughen these kids up. And, these kids were babied as kids, and everybody's so entitled nowadays. And, I mean, you stuck up for yourself your whole life.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You didn't have social media back then or, hashtags to support your cause and all that other stuff. I'm glad that it's out there now, and that's the new platform, and that's great. But for me growing up as a teenager in that time, we didn't have that. You barely had AOL Instant Messenger, and your away message was the most important thing.
I didn't have that.
Oh, so that was our thing.
I had a beeper.
I had a beeper.
If you had a beeper, it meant you were a drug dealer. But I wasn't a drug dealer. It was just for my
I was a
people
teen,
to keep in touch with me.
Or they'd send boobless. That's what I got all the time, was they would send boobless just as a message.
Couple things. Your husband's checking in right now. He's saying, hey, great conversation.
Oh.
Steve over at the Stanley wants to know my drag queen name again, and it's Big Titty Nikki.
The star of the show.
Big Titty Nikki.
Love it.
You can check out the Bitch Better Have My Money video from Street Rock Mafia, and you can see Big Titty Nikki make an appearance. She came out there slinging the dollar bills, y'all.
It looks like you need a sequel to that. I mean, there's a lot of people that are interested.
It's funny. Michael White saying drag filters. Are there drag filters?
Yeah.
You
go onto Snapchat now. You can make your own, which I think is cool. Like especially if you're doing an event.
I don't Snapchat, so.
I do here and there. A lot of it's like the I voted thing yesterday, like those kind of things. Or if I'm really enjoying myself, I have Snapchatting what I'm drinking and that kind of stuff. So I do fall into it a little bit, but yeah, you can. There's this whole thing now. If you're in a certain place, you can pick up filters depending on where you are.
Right.
But there's some. I mean, some of these filters are.
Yeah, a lot of these businesses are creating their own filters.
Yeah, well, that's because people are on their phones.
It's great promotion.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the days of like when I go out with friends. We'll do the 1 or 2 pictures or whatever, but my phone's away. Like I want to be I want to enjoy it. Nobody enjoys the moment anymore. Everybody's in their phones,
Yeah. Michael White saying, more power to Larry for being who he is and never feel as he should hide who he is. Be real no matter who you are.
That's awesome. So it's easy. It's an easy concept. Everybody can get it. I don't think I could be anything else.
Seriously.
I'm kind of a one-track,
right. And that's what I like about society today. Like, more people are coming out, and they feel better about themselves, and it's probably a weight lifted off their shoulder. And
Huge.
Right. I could only imagine.
Huge.
Like, look at what Barry Manilow went through. Mm-hmm. He had to hide his homosexuality all those years, and he finally came out, but it was obvious, right?
It was out there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Rob Halford, for instance, the heavy metal god. Mm-hmm. Here he is. He was in the closet for so many years, and he came out and thinking like the heavy metal community was gonna turn their back on them, and they didn't. They accepted it, and it was like,
because the music's still good.
Because the music still kicks ass.
That's all that matters.
Right, exactly. And Halford's still a metal god, and he will always be. And he's in the Mount Rushmore of heavy metal.
Absolutely, I agree.
100%, 100%. But I love that the society's starting to come out a little more. They feel a little bit better about themselves and feel free.
There's still
and
a lot to do, but
right, of course.
It's a never-ending thing, though. I mean, look at the race issue is back again, and it's 2018, and race is an issue.
Yeah, like it's 1955.
Right, like I don't.
Like
some
Rosa
people,
Parks is still alive and shit. It's ridiculous to me.
It is.
It is. There's just a lot of pent up. You notice, and I've noticed too, especially on Facebook with social media being so prevalent these days. You start to realize that these people that you grew up with are like, wow, they've always been assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now everybody has an opinion, and now you can share it.
Right.
But
it's a shame. And it's scary that there is so much racism going on out there, because we're all just one, man. We're all people. We're all human beings. None of us are better than any other. We all put our pants on the same exact way. We all have blood running through our veins. We are, no matter how much money you have, no matter what your sexuality, no matter the type, color of your skin or anything, no matter if you drink beer, smoke pot, or whatever the hell you do, we are all one. We're all individuals, and we are all just a human being.
Yeah, and you get one round, so enjoy it.
And you get one round. That's it, man. That is it. That's for sure. Janelle saying she don't Snapchat. She don't know how. I don't know how either.
I can't imagine my mother Snapchatting. I think that would be weird. I think it'd be entertaining. But
Michael White saying, Caitlyn Jenner, nobody saw that coming. He was beyond strong and an icon, but even he hid who he was until now.
Yeah, that's another topic that
let's talk about that.
Caitlyn Jenner. Like I said, I love that she's doing her thing. I think she is doing it the wrong way, though. I think she's over politicizing transgendered people. Mm-hmm. Like, you do you come out on the cover of Vanity Fair. Transgender people don't get to do that. Like, be real. And then you voted for Trump, and it's like, you're asking for a death wish.
She did?
Yeah. Oh, was totally behind him. Now it's no. Like, I don't like what he's doing. Like, great, awesome, but 2016 you voted for him, so that sticks. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing too about elections is like who you voted for. 20, 30 years from now, and everybody's looking back on this in the history books, if you voted for him, that's forever known. You can't change that.
Right.
So, like, take your stuff seriously. Think about other people when you vote. But the Caitlyn Jenner, she drives me insane. She's along that line with the Kanyes and the Kardashians, and I don't pay attention to a single one of them. They all drive me nuts.
All it is attention horse.
Yeah, they do whatever that's the thing. And I think she glorified being transgender in a way that transgender people, and it's massively like agreed upon in the community that she like does not represent them because she over politicized it. Like, I would have loved to have the People magazine cover when I came out, but so whatever. If that's really what she's doing, amen.
Well, let's make one for you.
I can't imagine that cover story. I'd be more of a TMZ guy than a People magazine guy. But
let me ask you, if you know the answer to this question, when they get a sex change, though, like, can they still have sex? I mean, what's the whole operation on that? How do they?
Well, it depends which way you're going.
Well, they're chopping it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, essentially.
And how does it get flipped? Like it.
Well, the female.
Do you know the ins and outs of this surgery?
I don't know like full details.
Okay.
But like I said, I have a lot of good friends that are within the process and becoming who they are, and love and appreciate them.
Have you seen a severed penis?
No.
Well, I mean, not
I
a
haven't
severed
seen
penis,
it.
but like, have you seen after the operation is done?
No.
Okay.
Nope. No. But for female born to male, they just pop out the clitoris.
Okay.
So it's literally, essentially.
They got probably a small dicks then after that.
But they're coming up with surgeries now that enhancements, things like that. One of my friends, I won't shout him out by name, but he even said, he's like, I'm not getting the surgery until I can, have my penis, and it get hard on its own and not be mechanical and
have a pump.
Yeah, and there's some people that wait for that, and I love that. I think that's awesome that they're like, hey, you know what? I know it's not my time right now. And that's the thing that I want people to understand with people that are transitioning is they're not concerned about the sex part of it. Like it's not down here, it's up here.
Right.
Like that they know who they are up here. And I think if people understood that more, like they could care less about, that. I mean, yeah, definitely. It adds to it. It gives
right.
you, you see yourself.
Well, it's part of human nature,
Yeah,
though.
you see yourself oh, absolutely. You see yourself one way, and the parts are different. But it really starts up here.
I got you.
think that's the thing that they're more concerned of. They want to be recognized as they see themselves, and it's not a hard concept when you see it that way. Immediately, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, what about, and that's an interesting topic in itself. I don't know a lot about it. A lot of my friends have had top surgery, which I've seen.
Can you give me a report though when you finally see one?
Oh, and I've there's some friends like that I'm right along the process with them.
Really?
Like while they're on.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, like I absolutely love it. And
like a friend, you help them along through the process.
Help them through, and it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
to see them become themselves. It's almost like a birth all over again. Like it's not obviously scientific birth, but you're seeing this person kind of blossom into themselves, and it's amazing. It's what life's about. Like seeing that. Best, I would say that's the happiest thing I've seen is seeing somebody actually like start to see the changes and what's going on inside's matching on the outside, and they could care less about politics and gossip and all this stuff. They finally have like they're who they are, and that's life right there. That's the best thing you could see. So of course I'd be
being reborn again.
Yeah, the process itself is just you get to see somebody become who they are.
Right on.
Yeah, I live for it. I love it.
I'd like to do a documentary on this one day.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should.
I'm sure there is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
taking through somebody's process, but I think it'd be very inspirational for some people, and
I think it'd help them
and
along
knowledge
as well.
for other people and education.
Yeah, because it just doesn't come down to just the surgery or testosterone or estrogen or
or sex for that matter.
Yeah,
like you said,
some people are just they're like, hey, like I can't help it. This is who I am. Like this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And once people start seing that part of it, how happy it makes somebody,
right,
and how life changing it is for somebody and the people around them.
Have you followed Mina Caputo's journey at all from
No.
Life Agony? You familiar with the band Life Agony? No, kind of the same thing. It was the other band too that was it Against Me was did a transgender thing.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Life Agony, great band, awesome band, hardcore band out of Brooklyn back in the day in the '90s. Played Sick of It All, and the Cro-Mags and all those bands back in the day in the underground hardcore scene back in the '90s.
Yeah,
Keith Caputo, amazing voice on him. He went through his transformation, and the band broke up, and then he came back as a woman. And at first, it was a little bit weird, of course, especially for the hardcore fans. But I've seen the difference in him because back in the day, I used to go see him in the '90s, and now seeing him today, he's much more of a front woman, however you want to describe him now than he was back then when he just used to be the shy little boy behind the microphone.
Yeah, you can't imagine how.
But now it's amazing to watch where she's come.
Yeah, it's freeing for them, and I think if people understood that, how just being around, like actually, honestly, most of my guy friends are transgendered.
Mm-hmm.
I don't and people that know me personally know that I don't. Not like the word transgender, I just don't use it. They're dudes to me. They're like my guys and my bros. Like I don't use it. I know that's how
you don't go. Hey, this is my transgender friend right here.
Yeah, I actually refuse to kind of use that one. I don't think that it's necessary to introduce that because to me they're just
your
guys.
Friend.
Yeah, and a lot of them are more manly than half the men born men that I've met.
You don't have to label your friends.
Yeah, and I know that's the T word is used to describe what what's happening, but otherwise I don't use it. I don't even like using homosexual. I'm just a dude that happens to be married to a guy. Next. Like, that's how I am. I think that's the TLE message. That's why I call all my followers misfits. I don't care where the hell you come from. I don't care how much money you make. As long as you're good to the person next to you and they're good back to you, whatever.
Yep.
Do your thing. Republican, Democrat, don't care. I don't care as long as you're a good person.
Exactly.
So, and that's we've lasted 11 years, so still going.
Great conversation today.
Yeah.
You got to come in more.
All over the place.
Right. Well, that's me.
And me.
It's the ADD. I call it the Anthony Donaldson disorder because they didn't have ADD when I was growing up.
No, you were just
I would
overactive.
Definitely, yes. And, I like to bounce all over the place. But these are a lot of things I wanted to discuss. And, and you're open-minded about it. And you can have an honest discussion about it and not get worked up and not get frustrated. And, and you help me. You educate me on some things.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's what I think the world's missing is conversation.
Yes.
Get off your phone and talk to somebody that's not like you. You'd be surprised.
Indeed.
If you embrace different cultures, how much brighter your life is.
Do you think that's why podcasts are so popular right now?
Yeah.
Or because people are so wrapped up in their phones, and it's because it's easy to get to a podcast because you're already on your phone, but people like listening to a conversation.
Yeah, because they're not doing it themselves.
Yeah.
They're buried in their phone. But the great thing is, and I think what I like to do, like I was saying earlier, I am new to this YouTube thing. Like, you have an Apple TV at home and they have the YouTube app. Mm-hmm. I watch that more than anything. The thing I try to do is I like to watch things that I don't necessarily agree with. Like Fox News is a gift in itself.
Yeah, right.
Is a gift in itself.
But that place would just implode.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So there's things that I get comic out of it. My husband really loves the Fail Army stuff. Obsessed with that. Gets a kick out of that. I watch Jeffree Star, who's a famous makeup artist. I don't know anything about makeup, but he's fascinating to me. So I think if everybody, if you looked up something that you weren't necessarily sure about or the opposition, you open up your eyes to a lot of things.
Indeed.
Instead of just searching for what, this is, they're left wing or they're this, I'm going to watch this personally because they're on this, that kind of shit. Yeah, you'd be surprised. YouTube's an amazing thing.
It is. It's hard to build up subscribers, though, I feel.
Yeah.
So you really got to be on the plug for that.
You gotta be a Jake Paul or something.
You got to be out there. And it's all about producing good content, though. Mm-hmm. That's what it is, if you're out there producing content. But nowadays, and we mentioned this earlier, like how dumb society has gotten with hip-hop music and stuff like that. But the kids are watching on YouTube each other open up presents.
Yeah.
And they're watching each other play video games.
The unboxing.
Where's the excitement in that?
And it's overabundant how crazy, unboxing videos are, like you were saying, or Twitch is the thing.
Twitch is huge right now.
Where you game.
Which we're live on Twitch and YouTube right now.
Oh, see, but we're not gaming though. Isn't Twitch is like a big thing for gaming, the Fortnite craze.
Fortnite's huge right now.
Yeah, I don't play it.
Fortnite is absolutely huge.
I play Mortal Kombat still. I still think that's the coolest thing. Call of Duty, I've kind of gotten into, like doing the online thing. Nintendo was out when I was a kid. You weren't online. You played, Mario. But
coming on?
Coming on.
Yeah? All right, kid, grab the microphone. You feeling all right? All right.
I just wanted to add that
cousin Mike joining me today. This is my cousin, by the way.
Yeah.
Larry, cousin Mike.
Good.
He popped in. He likes to hang out and see the madness that goes on the EC Radio and Disruption Network.
Yeah, I promote it.
He does.
I just want to say, man made laws, rules, and designed their own structures of different religions and rules, and man is a man, and no one has the right to tell anybody who they are, what they can do, what they cannot do. You are a human being, period.
Yeah,
just how you can't tell anybody else how to live. It's the same thing.
Right. It's easiest concept in the world. You just said it perfectly. Easiest concept in the world. And I wish more people would get it.
I do too. For some reason, your camera's not working. I was trying to put you on. But...
And it's really disturbing that it doesn't work. And this new generation, you're absolutely right, how they watch other people play video games and stuff like that. And it's really, coming from such a short period since we grew up, you're talking about, 15, 20 years, and you're jumping to when you only had 3 lives to play the whole entire game. Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we had those video games, but we also went out and were active too, though.
Correct.
We rode our bikes and we played football and kickball and baseball and stuff like that. There's no more sports activity. Go to like a park right now. There's no kids playing at the park right now.
They're watching other kids play games online. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's the street light rule. That's how we grew up. You rode your bike to your friends, and you knew where everybody was by seeing all the bikes outside, and you had to be back when the street lights came on. That's exactly how it was for me. I mean, we had the video game systems, but my brother's like, get outside. What are you doing indoors? It's 80 degrees out. Go.
And it's keeping kids pretty much isolated, so they can't really explore and understand things for themselves by going outside and doing such things, or achieving such like video games, like putting the dedication into it rather than just sloppily just sitting there lazily watching someone else play. I mean, how lazy of a society have we became?
We have big time. Big time. Everybody has become lazy because the instant gratification is right here at the palm of your hands. Yeah. You can get a meal delivered to your doorstep in like under 30 minutes. You can get a bag of weed delivered to your house real quick. You can get anything at the palm of your hands pretty much. I mean, there's Tinder where a girl will come over and, hook up, or whatever your preference is. There's just so much with all these apps and technology, and it's disconnecting everybody. Even though it's connecting everybody, it's disconnecting everybody.
And I just want to point out that's my favorite thing about this network. Absolutely, since day one, is bringing up such topics, because no one else brings up these topics. Everyone brings up topics that pop culture wants to hear. They do things to what people want to hear for ratings or for whatnot. And this network is just designed to disrupt that. This is the Disruptive Network. This is to bring you real life situations to think outside the box with new perspectives, and perspectives from first person point of view. And this is great that this exists, this podcast.
Thanks, cuz. I appreciate that.
No, it's on. I mean, it's honest. People want to watch what they relate to, and there isn't anything like this really going on. You get the, you turn it on to, like I said, like a rock channel, you're gonna get all rock music. You turn it on to a pop station, you're getting all pop. This is, and I watch. I'm an avid watcher myself of you guys.
Thank you.
And it's diverse. No topics off limits, essentially, and the guests are always different.
Yeah,
that's why I was telling you at the Stanley I was itching to get on, because I was like, I haven't been on yet. We talked about it back when you were hanging out with JP, and I was like, anytime.
Here you are. Well, we got to make this frequent, though. You got to keep coming back, because I feel it's important. And I've always, like I told you in the beginning, I have so many friends that are gay, black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Asian.
That's what America is about.
I got alien friends. And that's, I try to bring it all together, and everybody has a story, and that's what this platform is for. To get out there and tell your story, or promote your event too. We like to do community events.
And one thing just to say to Larry is, I brought up the Caitlyn Jenner thing, being that who he was in his time frame, being such an icon, and look how long it took him to come out, even though it was glamorized for certain reasons. But you're not an Olympian,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But you had no fear,
right?
Yet he did. So think about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, him, as Bruce, I couldn't imagine the mounted pressure he had
seriously.
To be an Olympian, to be on that Kellogg's box, to represent, and then to be seen on reality TV so early on. So he had cameras in his face when he was married to
Kardashian,
the other Jenner there.
Yeah.
I can't.
But he missed so much of his life
right.
trying to be something that he wasn't,
right.
rather than just accepting who he is and not being scared or afraid as you live your
right.
life. And I think, and not to say you have more balls than he did, before,
No pun intended. No, but I mean, especially on a platform like that, I mean, where millions are watching you. So like I said, I respect her in that respect, but I guess being down where normal people live. And not that the situation was really any different. Honestly, she was just more under a bigger microscope, being watched. So I get why it was glamorized a little bit, but of the transgender friends that I have, they're not a fan because of and she's also now made it political. So the T words in there a lot too, Trump everything, as it is with everything. But I bought the cover. I bought the magazine. I read it. Like So anybody that's willing to be themselves, they get my respect in that.
Indeed.
And
Me too.
Yeah, but that's where I draw the line with her. You got my respect, good, awesome.
Yep.
If I could just add 1 minute of just a political part of this is the one thing I really, really can't stand about politics is everyone forgets that they work for us. You know what I'm saying? Like we're the taxpayers. You know what I'm saying? So they're supposed to represent us when they really just don't. They represent their whatever they do.
Their special
Their
interests.
specialist interests and stuff like that. But let me tell you something about America. America is about freedom. That's what it was all based on, freedom. And when you have politicians out there or presidents out there who tell you that you have to be Christian or you're not allowed to have abortions that's not freedom.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's their point of view. That's their opinion. It has nothing that's against what America's all about. Right. You know, you can't tell people what they want or what they could do, you know? So that's my biggest beef with politicians.
It's everybody's.
It's starting to turn into more of a dictatorship.
They preach freedom, but yet they take away the freedom of an actual person.
It's the point of us, being able to vote. It's called a choice, and we're losing that as the years go on, choices to things. I think that, first of all, if you're a committee full of men deciding if women can have abortions, it is not your place. It's a woman's right to her body, as
Great
it should
point.
be. To have a branch of government that's almost all white, middle-aged men deciding how black people are considered in their communities and the things and services that they, I'm down for putting in taxes and helping everybody out. I think everybody in America should have food on the table. Every kid should have a good education, and everybody should have a home. Mm-hmm. I don't understand what the concept is. If my tax money goes to help the neighbor, so be it. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why people are, I guess the social media era, the world we live in, everybody's entitled rather than, hey, help your neighbor, because it's going to help you out in the end. The nicer you are to your neighbor, they're nicer to their neighbor, the nicer the neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not really a hard concept.
It's not.
I'm down for, you want to tax me to help people out? Absolutely do it.
And another thing is I hear a lot of bigotry about, like welfare fraud and welfare, and you hear about that in politics about, different sides of races like abusing welfare. Well, you know what? In the Valley, every single day, it's all I see is the people who are against minorities and complain about welfare being abused. They're in the paper every day for welfare fraud.
Yeah.
Doing the same shit.
So,
the hypocrites.
it's
and that's what it is too. Like,
man.
stop dictating what they're doing with their lives. Worry about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Going back to people voting against their interests. It's the same shit.
It's like the 60s all over again.
Yeah,
in a way,
We've gone backwards. We should be progressing, and we're not. And that's the problem, too, is like... The problem, too, is a lot of the baby boomers, they don't want to progress. They don't want to change. They like it the way it was back then. And it's like, guys, we got to move into the future. Yeah. All right?
Not only that, you're not going to be around much longer. It's not your future to worry about.
Right. Oh, you don't remember how it was back then. Yeah. I don't care. Right. I care about how it is right now.
And how it's going to be.
And how it's going to be in the future.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, like, right now. And that's why I think so many Trump supporters are so brainwashed by the guy, because he keeps bringing up, back then and back then. And he tries to hold everybody back from progressing.
And then you got to think about, what do you mean back then? Back then when women didn't have rights, back then when minorities didn't have any right. Like, what was so great about back then?
Exactly.
Nothing. The environment was horrible because we were polluting our waters. Mm-hmm. Coal's. He even stated that great, beautiful, clean, beautiful coal. That's the craziest freaking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
No
He's got
such
dementia.
thing.
And plus he's bringing back asbestos. Working with asbestos your whole life almost.
Yeah.
You know how the dangers of that is, but it's legal again.
Methamphetamine is far more healthier than asbestos. Let's put it that way, okay? Let's just bring that to light, okay?
Yeah, I think the problem with the hardcore supporters is I think they feel like things are gonna be taken from them. I think that's the biggest problem. Like it's a pie or something.
Well, and that's the other thing they debate every year, because we're at the age now where we've seen different presidents. We've come across 3 different presidents, or even 4, depending on our age group here. But they always use the same tactic. They're going to take away your guns. They're going to take away your guns. You know what? Obama was in presidency for 8 years. No guns got taken. You know, and Bill Clinton was in presidency.
So that's where it started for me.
No guns got taken. So they use this fear tactic that they're going to take your guns.
He scares his supporters. That's his tactic.
And who supports him? NRA. And what do people do? Load up on guns and ammo. There you go. Yeah. Always follow the money trail. Always.
Yeah. Sad state of affairs that we're in, but this has been a great conversation, Larry, and we got to continue this conversation, and we didn't even scratch the surface today. I got to give some love and respect out my sponsors. By the way, a big thing happening tomorrow. We got Vic DiBenedetto coming on tomorrow. He's a hilarious comedian. He was the bread and milk guy, and he's also in the Yankee locker room. He does the Giant locker room. Very, very funny guy. He's going to be at the Stanley on November 17th, and he's coming on the podcast tomorrow via Skype.
That'll be fun.
I'm really, really looking forward to talking to Vic DiBenedetto. And not only that, but we got a bunch of tickets to give away for that show. So keep your ears tuned and your eyes locked into the Disruption Network's social media pages, and we'll be launching a contest really, really soon, and you can win a couple pairs of tickets to see Vic DiBenedetto coming up on September. I wish it was September. November 17th at the Stanley Theater. And we've got speaking of comedy events, we got a really cool comedy event happening this weekend at Wakely's. It's happening this Saturday as Disruption Network presents Thank You for Your Service, You're Welcome. It's a comedy fundraiser for the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. And it's happening at Wakely's, 700 Varick Street in Utica, the old electric company, my old stomping ground. So if you want to come hang out and pretend we're back home again, come hang out with us at Wakely's. It starts at 7 o'clock, showtime right around 8 o'clock. And it's hosted by my good friend and old confidant, my old WOUR running mate, who is now working at 92.7 The Drive FM. Genesee Joe is going to be there hanging out with us. He's going to host it, and he's got some jokes, and Joe's a funny guy too, so it's going to be pretty interesting. DJ East One on the turntables, and performances by Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Kluse, and Michael Alfred Pileggi. Admission is pretty much nothing, but we're asking you to bring donations. If you could bring clothes, gloves, parkas, jackets, any kind of supplies, or a small monetary donation at the door, all proceeds and supplies to the Veterans Outreach Center of Central New York. Thanks to our sponsors, NYE Volkswagen in Rome, Paulie's Barbershop, The Drive, 92.7 FM, Frank's Gun, and COY, Seal Coating and Concrete. We got the guys back here. We got the banner made and decided to stick it up. So that's all going down this Saturday. Come on out. It's going to be a great time. It's cheap. It's early. And you're going to have a great time. You're going to laugh your balls off. It's going to be pretty funny. Guarantee. Guarantee some funny laughter. Guarantee. And also got to give love and respect to NYE Volkswagen out in Rome for always hooking us up with a Volkswagen to drive around town in. And they gave me a pretty fat Atlas last week. Ever drive an Atlas?
No.
I
saw you donating the coffee, though. That was cool.
That was a lot of fun. We're going to be doing more of that, too. But they gave us an Atlas to drive around in, and that car pretty much drives itself. The day and age of Knight Rider is pretty much here. The cars even talk to you.
No more DUIs.
So. I don't know if I want a car to drive me, though.
Pretty soon it's going to be like you're going to plug in your coordinates on where you live, and it's just going to fly you there, and you don't even have to worry about TWI or even putting on a seatbelt or anything that matter. But
Officer, it wasn't me. It was the car.
The car did it.
Big ups to our friends over at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. Mention Disruption Network. Receive $250 off any vehicle purchase. Check out their inventory, NYEVWofRome.com. And I got to give some love and respect out to my man, EJA Moving Company. Eddie's going to come and help transport all the donations that we get this weekend at Wakely's for the Veterans Outreach Center fundraiser. He's going to help us transport it to the Veterans Outreach Center. So big love and lots of respect out to Eddie and EJA Moving Company. The professional movers, call them today if you're looking to move or relocate at 315-335-0516. They make it easy and simple for you to move and relocate. Larry, if you guys are moving out of the house, you just bought a house.
Just bought a house.
But if you're looking to move, or you're looking to move your party, or Mike, if you're looking to move out of the house, have these guys do all the work for you. Let them break their back instead of you breaking their back. You can check them out online, ejamoving.com. I'm pretty pumped for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Vic DiBenedetto's coming on, and we're going to talk Italian. We're going to talk a lot of Italian, because in case you can tell, I'm 3/4 Italian. I don't know if you can tell or not. Anyways, we're going to talk sports. I'm sure we're going to talk a bunch of sports. But coming up in just a little bit, too, speaking of sports, Wrestle Fandom Radio kicks off right around 6 o'clock with Garrett from Fight from Rome and Rated R and my man Ant from No Compliance. And I'm sure they're going to be talking about, did you see Triple H tore his pec the other night?
Yeah, did you see the picture?
Yeah, his picture was
nuts.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like his whole arm was like black all the way down his chest and shit. He tore his pec off. I really, really wish The Undertaker and Kane and Shawn Michaels, why did you come back, please? Right. I mean, it's like watching him wrestle. It was like a shell of himself, because I loved Shawn Michaels growing up, and I thought he was one of the greatest in the 90s and DX and all that. I thought what he did was amazing, even when he was with the Rockers and Marty Jannetty and the Midnight Rockers with the AWA. I followed Shawn Michaels' whole career, and it was kind of sad to watch him in the ring the other day.
I was under the impression he passed away.
You should have saw the match. Most of it was.
Oh, man, it was insane. That crown jewel, very subpar.
It was very boring.
Subpar. And quick matches, too. You notice that? All the matches.
I think, with the controversy, they wanted in and out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how do you start the show with Hulk Hogan? You're already in a ton of controversy. Let's add some more. I mean, honestly, though.
I'm glad Hogan's back, though.
Part of me, the nostalgia of it. I mean, even though he's barely lifting an arm and, and doing that, but. I hate his comments sucked, but it was nice seeing him on screen again. I guess the kid me was excited to see him on TV. But the rest of it was, I only honestly watch now for the women, really. Honestly, I think the women wrestlers are sick.
Thank you.
Paige is still my favorite, and she always will be, even though she can't wrestle anymore.
The women are outshining the guys tenfold.
Becky's doing her thing.
The best thing it ever did was start this women's division. In fact, I think they should get their own show after Evolution.
Absolutely.
I think they should have their own
pay-per-view.
show.
Yeah.
It was incredible. That pay-per-view was awesome. They knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy Ronda. I'm a big Ronda Rousey fan too. I was even before the UFC and that stuff. So I'm happy she's doing her thing. But yeah, they should have their own weekly show. Keep the men are the ones that are ruining it.
I want to see Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler go at it.
Yeah,
that's the match I want to see. I think Shayna Baszler is the only one in the WWE that is going to be able to beat her. Maybe Charlotte, but that's it.
I think that's what they're going for. I think that's the thing they're pushing is the Ronda Charlotte WrestleMania.
I hope so.
That would be a good. I mean, she's a good. I say what you want. She's a Flair, sure. She got it, but she worked for it. She's an amazing wrestler.
She's a great athlete.
Yeah.
She came through. She was a breakthrough.
Yeah, she's really an amazing athlete, and she's a gymnast too. Yeah. So they
make her work
flexible.
double time because she's a Flair to prove it. You know? So it's cool that she's doing that. I mean, Natty's been doing it for how long? She's a Neidhart. She's not bad. She's really crappy on the mic. She's great on Total Divas, though. Right. She's entertaining. But yeah, Paige is my favorite. I'm really sad that she had to retire because she was. I mean, just the look, the gimmick, the rock, the whole thing. I love Paige. I still love watching her.
I love Sasha Banks.
See,
it's my favorite.
You get Sam going on that.
And that's what I'm talking about. Here you got three guys here. And one who's homosexual, and we all agree on the same thing. Yeah. Right there.
It'd be surprising when you sit down with somebody how much you actually agree upon.
And that's your point, and that's a great point you bring up, Mike.
Exactly.
So people, get off your phones and talk.
Yes.
Talk. Or watch us talk, then talk about it.
There you go. One more back to the wrestling, though. I really want to see this women's tag team thing happen, too.
Yeah, they said they were going to, I think it's supposed to be after Survivor Series.
That's going to be cool.
They should. There's enough women wrestling now.
Yeah.
You know?
And who's going to be the champs, right?
Yeah, Sasha and Bayley.
You think Sasha Bayley?
I
think Nia Jax and Tamina. I think they're going to fight. I think they're going to fight each other and then eventually come together, kind of like Cesaro and Sheamus did.
Yeah.
Remember how they started off as rivals and then all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, we're friends now."
Yeah.
And I think that's how they're going to do it too.
Well, I heard too that Lita and Trish are going to stay on. I think if they're in when they do the titles, they'll give them the titles first.
Why does the hobby hate Sasha Banks?
Oh, because she injured. Well, she injured Paige at a live event, and that's why she had to retire. So he gets. And she's actually injured a few wrestlers.
Yeah.
She's a great athlete, though. Some of her moves are reckless, but that's why people love her. I mean, look at her and Charlotte in Hell in the Cell. That was an amazing match, and they went at each other.
They will always be rivals.
But yeah, Becky and Charlotte at the last woman standing match. That was the best match of the whole night.
You started putting all the tables on top of her and shit. That was crazy.
So, I mean, I look at Charlotte, though. She seems to be in the cusp of all these, big moments.
Yeah, you're right.
As a side note, I would just like to add for about like the UFC or any MMA out there, I would like to see like a Royal Rumble
of MMAs.
Yes, correct.
Wow,
that would really. I mean, who would not watch that?
That's what it looked like at that last match, didn't it? Didn't that become a big rumble? He hopped over the cage, did all that. I don't know any of it.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I know McGregor.
But who would not watch something like that?
Yeah,
They had the champion of UFC is calling out Brock Lesnar now.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that seems a little storied, too. It seems like they're trying to bridge the gap. And fans of UFC, though, don't want a storyline. They want to fight. That's why they watch that. You want a storyline, you watch WWE.
I don't think it should be a Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble is something that comes out. They come out individually. It's a one-on-one, but it should be more of a battle royal where they all start at once.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And they should do that in mixed martial arts.
Absolutely. I think it's a new thing. You know why? Because like how we were talking about before, how like our parents like you got to do it this way. Things have to evolve, and like boxing, for example. Boxing was huge in our parents' days, but it kind of faded out. I love boxing. I still watch boxing, but it faded out.
It did.
It really faded out. I mean, who really can? There's like 20 different divisions, and the UFC is kind of going the same way, So you gotta spark it up with something a little bit different,
right?
And
these fighters, too, not the boxers, but the MMA fighters, the UFC fighters, their lifespan isn't that long at all. They're real popular for like 3-4 years, and then all of a sudden you don't hear about them anymore.
Yeah, unless you're a gimmick, though, like McGregor. I mean, he's an amazing fighter, don't get me wrong.
Right. But he's lost his last couple of matches.
But people came and gone, like Ken Shamrock. He was great in MMA, but when he went to UFC, like years,
he went to WWE after.
For a minute, too.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? But I mean, people come and go, like how you said, and it's just like,
well, now you got to have a gimmick to last. You got to have a gimmick to last. That's why McGregor lasts, because he's got that flamboyant, huge personality on camera, off camera. He's always flagrant, showing up.
It's true.
And he earned it. He fought for the money, whatever. Do your thing. But like him and Mayweather's another one. Yeah. You got to have a personality now to carry yourself.
And that's the other thing. I mean, we can sit here and name UFC fighters and this and that, but I mean, how many boxers? Can you name like 8 boxers who are fighting right now besides Mayweather?
Right.
Well,
he's kind of retired.
Just Canelo Alvarez and GGG, and that's it.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I think it kind of died after Tyson and the ear biting. After that, you're kind of done after that.
And the UFC just put it down too. The UFC just killed it.
When that came out, that was just 3-dimensional of fighting.
That kid could be putting McGregor down like that in that whole melee that happened, like you mentioned earlier. That kid's right now, he's like the heel of the UFC.
Yeah.
He is the big-time heel. Like, he's hated right now,
right.
Which is good. Did he get suspended? I'm sure he got suspended for that.
Hopped that cage like he had a purpose, though.
Oh, my God. He went out and beat the shit out of the manager.
I saw that clip, and that was it. And then, of course, it was the big thing everybody talked about.
But the best fight I've ever seen was that Rise of the Warrior, hosted by my cousin Danny.
Yeah.
Danny Donaldson. And that was probably the best show I've ever seen in my life. Thank you for that, for hooking up the VIP tickets to that.
What was the good match in that one?
Oh man, it was a couple years ago. I can't remember.
Our cousin puts on amateur fights down in
South Florida,
Port St. Lucie area.
Rise of the Warrior. If you ever get a chance, definitely check it out.
And he fills the arena down there, like 3,000 seats, and the cage fights.
Phenomenal what he does, not just business wise, but he's also the head trainer, and these guys win championships.
It's only knocking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys win championships and world championships, and he's put his work in for over like 13 years.
Longer than that.
And he does, I mean, he deserves all credit for accomplishing what he did and does.
I appreciate anybody that goes into. I mean, there's local too that like teams and productions. I don't know what they call them.
Mike, open the door.
Got fans outside?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are that popular.
I forgot I had somebody coming over.
No, I love that there's, I don't know what they call them, factions or whatever. There's all sorts of independent types of entertainment now. I mean, TLE is considered independent. We don't, I mean, I don't affiliate with anybody other than myself. We produce the shows. I collaborate with a lot of people, but yeah. I think it's great.
Larry, this has been a great conversation, man. I want to thank Mike, too, for joining us, too. Mike, you got to come back in soon, too. Thank you so much for having this conversation. This has been really cool. I'm glad we can open up and talk and get our get these discussions out there in the open, and this is good. And please come back.
Absolutely.
And if you need help promoting any of your events, please keep us in the loop.
I know where to go.
Please keep us in the loop.
Thank you very much.
This has been a lot of fun. So thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow with Vic DiBettetto coming on. This is going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to talk to Vic. So you guys can check out this podcast and previous podcasts of EC Radio and all the content that we have here on the D at DisruptionNetwork.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all the social medias, and we are pretty much everywhere. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. See ya.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
We are a generation of lost masculinity, and we got to start getting it back. No matter if you're straight or gay, no matter if you stick it in the front or you stick it in the rear, for the love of our sons, we've got to stick it in there like a man.
EC Radio.
Only on the D!
Thank you for your service, you're welcome. A comedy benefit show for our veterans. In support of the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. On November 10th at Wakely's, 700 Varick Street, Utica, join Disruption Network as they team up with 92.7 FM The Drive for this night of laughter. The evening will be hosted by Genesee Joe from The Drive. Performances by Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Cluse, Mike Pileggi, and DJ Ease One. Admission is by donation only. Please bring clothes, socks, gloves, non-perishable food items, or a small monetary donation. All donations will go to the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. Saturday, November 10th at Wakely's on Varick Street. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Thank you for your service is sponsored by The D, 92.7 FM The Drive, Paulie's Barbershop, NYE Volkswagen of Rome, Frank's Guns, and Central New York Seal Coating and Concrete.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish, and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
The Disruption Network is making moves. For upcoming events, news, interviews, and new daily programming, keep in the loop with us at DisruptionNetwork.net. Like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. And check out all our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Get up on the D, DisruptionNetwork.net. Only on the D!